All the rules that apply to humans apply to dogs. Don't put any oils on the genital area, in any orifices or eyes, obviously. So the oils you want to avoid on dogs are the hot oils. So cinnamon, thyme, let's see, what else don't I use? Oregano is a hot oil, but yes, it can be used. You just got to really dilute it a little bit more heavily than any of the other oils, but oregano is very powerful as an antiviral, so it definitely can be used. The toothpaste, our On Guard toothpaste, has xylitol in it, and that is toxic to dogs. Toothpaste do not use on animals, or the beadlets. Don't give the beadlets.
And is that in just any amount?
Any amount, don't give the beadlets to animals.
Okay.
Yeah. Toothpaste for sure. Like I said, xylitol is the sweetener that we use, and that's toxic.
Okay.
So, yeah. So any questions?
I'm wondering, when you say you're using it, is it mainly topically that you're talking about?
Okay, so I use it internally a lot also. For instance, the products, the Terrazyme and the PB Assist, my dogs get every day. So my dogs are anywhere between 65 and 90 pounds. And a 90-pound dog, I'll give two Terrazyme with each meal. Under, like 75 pounds, they'll just get one Terrazyme with each meal and one PB Assist a day. So this could be a whole nother market for people, which I have found has been such a huge success for me. Is a lot of people care more about their animals than they do themselves. So when they come to me and they just say, tell me what to do, I'll do anything to make my poor baby feel better or whatever. And so depending on what they're telling me, the gut issue, smelly breath, gas, bloating, skin issues, the Terrazyme and the PB Assist are game changers. Really amazing effect on dogs to clear up a lot of those issues. Because, think about it, their dog food is completely processed, and most people are only buying, dog food. Really, really bad for their dog, but what can we do? Not all of us can have the time or the energy to do raw diets, which are best. Even me as a breeder, I've been, I've had to feed the kibble. I feed a really high quality one, but that's why I give the Terrazyme and the Assist. It really does, it has a difference in their coats, the way they smell, their gastrointestinal health. So a big seller. The other thing I use on a daily basis is the Flea tick and mosquito spray. And I've tried all different combinations. We don't have a huge flea problem here in northern Washington, but we do have ticks and we do have mosquitoes. And ticks, of course, carry Lyme disease, which is a big deal, and mosquitoes carry heartworm. Fleas produce worms. So the whole thing is just amazing how much the doTERRA oils can prevent these things. And using the pesticides instead is a huge selling point for me too, because when I educate people, you really want to put pesticides on your dogs when you have this natural alternative, and everybody jumps at the chance to get the oils for the flea, tick, and mosquito spray. So real quick, I'll just tell you the recipe. Because you'll find it all over the internet in all different formulas, and this is the one that works. You want to use an 8-ounce glass spray bottle, not the 16-ounce, use the 8-ounce, and make sure you're going to use distilled water. Usually we'll leave these spray bottles sometimes in a window, which is not good, but sometimes we do, and if you're not using distilled water, it's going to grow bacteria based on sometimes our water, from the tap. So use distilled. And it's 15 drops of each oil. There's 5 oils. So it's TerraShield, geranium, cedarwood, lemongrass, and peppermint. And then you're going to put about a teaspoon of FCO in the bottle as well, and fill it with the distilled water and shake before each use. And you don't have to spray the dog to death. 2 or 3 sprays And maybe just once a day, depending on how bad it is. Usually in hotter places like Southern California, you're going to want to do it like morning and night, or morning and afternoon, I should say. And it's, you know, obviously it's also building their immune system. So that's another selling point that I really try to tell people. You know, not only are you doing something natural, but it's building their immunity at the same time. So and you guys know all that. So yeah, so that's what I do basically on a daily basis. I like to, so when anybody buys one of my puppies, they're required by my contract. They want a puppy, they have to buy an essential oil kit. So I sell them the Home Essentials kit, because every single one of those oils in the top 10 oils they can use. Digest Zen is amazing. You know, dogs get car sick, and a drop or two diluted of Digest Zen right directly on the tummy 5 minutes before they take the car trip, it works every time. In fact, you can worm your dog with Digest Zen. And the way I do that is I use the Digest Zen soft gel. So a Digest Zen soft gel morning, noon, and night for 3 days straight, once a month. That's my wormer. I don't do that on my puppies, so the dog has to be at least 25 pounds to do that. Okay, so 25 pounds or more. Digest Zen soft gel 3 times a day for 3 days, once a month. So great natural warmer. Okay. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What about a small dog? Like I have two instances. One is he's under 10 pounds, a Maltipoo, with digestive issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 purebred piebald doxies who have some issues as well. So what's the dilution ratio for the smaller dog?
So you can do it topically on the smaller dogs, 1 or 2 drops on the tummy, diluted. And I would try that rather than giving them the pill. I think Digest Zen soft gels have 4 drops of Digest Zen, and I think it's 4 or 5. So it's too much for a 10-pound dog.
Okay.
And you know, it might be fine for a 15-pound, but as my overly conservative recommendation would be just for 25 pounds and over. So try it topically. It certainly won't hurt a 10-pound dog, or even a 1-pound dog. You can dilute when you're doing pup dogs that are less weight, like under 5. Maybe there's a lot of toy dogs that are like 4 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Dilute it with at least a whole teaspoon.
Okay.
Of oil, and do it in a dish. You know, do a teaspoon of the fractionated, do 1 drop, make sure only 1 drop falls out. If 2 drop out, throw it out.
Okay.
Okay, because I get nervous about those little tiny dogs. So
okay,
just be more conservative and dilute it heavier.
And then just rub it on the stomach 3 times a day, or
yeah,
in the stomach. And then if he has just like okay, so that's fine. So that question. And then what about senior dogs? How would you address a senior dog who has like arthritis, or I mean, I could ask you this personally, privately later, but I just wanted to ask that question. If there's senior dogs, and people who have senior dogs always have issues with their legs or their arthritic.
Yeah.
You know,
the rule of thumb is whatever we use as humans for arthritis, the dog can use as well.
So can a senior dog use like a deep blue pill?
So the deep blue polyphenols, yes, I have used in my dogs, but I only really have experience using that in like 75-pound dogs and over.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So yeah, the animals can take our pills. They can.
Okay.
They can even take the Lifelong Vitality, but it's all based on weight.
Okay.
Okay, so like, you know, when we're advising our people about Lifelong Vitality for their children, I think it's like, I can't remember, but it's 12 and over can take LLV.
I think it's 100 pounds.
Okay, yeah, 100 pounds or over can take, LLV. So same with dogs, kind of like that. And so, or if it's under 100 pounds, but let's say 50 to 100, I would give half a dose of Lifelong Vitality. So, I would give one deep blue polyphenol to a 100-pound dog, or 75-pound to 100 would get one polyphenol.
And they're just eating the pill in their food?
Well, no, I shove it down their throat.
Okay.
Yeah, my dogs are really picky, and so I can coat it with peanut butter and do everything, and they'll walk away from it. So I just shove it down there carefully, make sure they swallow it.
So, have you ever tried to just take the stuff out of the pill? Because you can open up a lot of those.
Yeah. Sometimes I do dump the Terrazyme onto their food, but I've been putting wet food into their food, and so it kind of smothers the Terrazyme, and so they do eat that.
Okay.
The Lifelong Vitality is harder for me to give them. Like I use the EX, what is it, OX Omega?
Mm-hmm.
Omega, yeah. Those pills, they're great omegas. So obviously but those are hard for them to eat. So I shove those down.
Okay. I don't have any pets. So when you say something about warming, like I have no idea what you're talking about. What does that mean?
Worming, yeah, worms. I know it's gross, but dogs eat.
Worming.
Yeah, worms. Yeah, they're dogs. They could possibly get them. So usually, to tell you the truth, puppies are born with them because it comes through the mother, and the puppies have really weak immune systems. Normal adult dogs usually don't get worms unless they eat a carcass or something horrible, because their immune system will keep the worms from living. So a lot of vets will say, you got to worm your dog every year, and that's really not true. But because doTERRA is so safe and, it builds their immunity and it's just healthy for them, I do it as a practice.
Okay. So so that's what you're describing with the Digestion 3 times a day.
Yes.
And just you do that how often?
3 times a day, once a month for 3 days straight. It's not, yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay.
The monthly 3-day wormer.
Okay, and just one Digestion soft gel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. So I know you guys probably heard me say I forced my customers to buy a home essentials kit, and I'm not really that bad, but it really is a contract, and so it's pretty cool though. So the top 10 oils for pet owners are awesome. So I would just suggest, that's how you would start opening up the conversation. And then the next month I automatically put them on an LRP, and they get 7 oils that they need, which I'll just list them. So Purify is amazing because you can do a stinky dog spray with that, and you can spray their bedding, right on the dog. It's just a wonderful way to get that dog odor away. And then I have them get Balance and Serenity, because that is amazing for anxiety, just like for us, the liquid Xanax. And you put a drop or 2 of Balance on their back paws. So a paw has pads on it underneath. And so, you flip the dog on its back, and their pads are where you put the oils on, because it's very, very absorbative, just like our feet. And it goes in slow, just like our feet. So again, you notice I'm kind of applying the same thing that we do to ourselves to the animal, same principles. And then Serenity can go on the back of their neck or the top of their skull. And since 4th of July is coming up, I've been getting a lot of people asking about this because their dogs just go into a panic. Do the Serenity and Balance, and even every 20 minutes if needed. Again, take into consideration the weight of your dog. If your dog is, like what Grace was saying, under 10 pounds, maybe do it every 2 hours instead of 20 minutes. And then turn on the TV about 2 hours prior to the 4th of July fireworks going off, and turn it on loud. not so it's unbearable, but that will really protect your dog. He'll think oh, the TV's normal. It'll muffle the sound of the fireworks. So anyway, back to the LRP. So Purify, Balance, Serenity, Geranium. Geranium is one of the oils you can use in place of Melaleuca if the dog is under 25 pounds. Great for ear health. And there's 7 oils. Let's see. I'm missing Geranium.
Would it be Terra Shield for the spray?
Oh yeah, the flea spray. So Terra Shield, thank you, and cedarwood and lemongrass.
Okay.
So, and all those oils add up to 128 PV. So they've done enough to get the free oil of the month. And then during that time, you know, when they get their kit and then before they get their LRP, I'm really educating them on everything they're going to use these oils for. Plus, we always get into the conversation about their own personal health. I talk about how it's a win-win for them as well. And then they really start opening up about their own personal stuff. So I don't have like 100% everybody stays on LRP for the rest of their lives because their motive is really dog-based. And so the conversion rate for me isn't that great of them now using it on their human selves. But I'm working on some tactics. I've got a strategy, so open the door.
All right.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And I do have a specific prospective customer in mind, so hopefully this won't be too specific for other people to gain from it as well. But she has a dog who has spent 4 weeks in radiation for a benign tumor. And so she just is trying to find ways to help him recover. He's lost all of his hair. She's putting aloe vera on his nose, I guess, to keep it from crusting. She's putting a medication in his eye because it got radiated, and they're just doing it preventatively. And then she's giving him CBD for pain, and she said that's helping. But she has stopped the antibiotics because it's just so hard to get it down his throat. So I don't know if you have any suggestions for a dog, you know, recovering from chemo or radiation or tumors, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So Zendocrine. How much does the dog weigh?
It's a large dog. It's a water retriever or something, or it's a water dog.
Portuguese water dog.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Zendocrine. Where was the tumor?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, applied topically Zendocrine, 2 to 3 drops diluted. That'll help get the toxins from the radiation and chemo out. And then just support him like, you know, the immune system is shot. So, you know, diffuse, on guard. You know, the gut health is probably all messed up too. So PB Assist and Terrazyme. So just think of it just like a human, what you would do for somebody that went through that. There's probably a lot of other suggestions, but Serenity.
Thank you for the Zendocrine. Apply topically where? On the paw?
Where the tumor was.
Where the tumor was. Okay.
You know, or the liver actually. That makes more sense to me. Thinking he still has the tumor, so forget that. Do it across the liver, and you can just Google the anatomy of a dog, and it'll say. I think it's near the side. And so Zendocrine, and if it's a really large dog, you can do that morning and night. Just always dilute it.
Great, thank you.
Would you ever do DDR prime for a dog?
Yeah, absolutely. So a dog that has cancer that's super compromised like that, even dogs with seizures, they should be on DDR prime. So weight based. So I think there's 4 to 5 drops of that oil. So probably just 1 DDR prime.
Okay, let's take a couple more questions. I wish we could keep going, but we still have our regular team call to do. So anyone have any other clarifying questions or just something more specific?
I got on a little late. This is Kathy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I got on a little late. So if you guys already covered this, I'll watch the recording. But what about skin issues for dogs? Did you cover that at all?
Yeah, so you always want to tell your client customer to address the food issue for, because they are what they eat. But PB Assist once a day and Terrazyme with each meal, because you want to address the gut health first. Topically, you would do, you can make up a salve with coconut oil, lavender, frankincense, and melaleuca. So you want to figure out what it is. Is it a dermatitis? What is the skin issue? It could be scabies. I mean, it could be so many things. So she'd need to know what it is. Most of the time it's just allergies, and could be hot spots, which are yeast induced. So an overgrowth of yeast is also combative with the lavender, frank, and melaleuca. You just need to know how much the dog weighs, because if it's too small, you'd want to use geranium in place of melaleuca.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So can I ask a quick question? Along the same lines, for the Terrazyme and the PB Assist, maybe I didn't understand. Can that be used for the smaller dog as well?
Yeah, you can open up the Terrazyme really easily.
Okay.
I would say dump out. Well, your small dog would probably eat like half a cup of food at a time.
Yes.
Yeah, so then use half a capsule of Terrazyme and just dump it right on top. Use the other at night. And PB Assist, you can't break it open, so.
Can you use the PB Assist Junior?
Oh yeah. Oh no, you can't, because it's
It has xylitol.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't think I would give the PB Assist. Ask your veterinarian how many billion, 9 billion, yeah. Ask how much would be okay for your size dog. Your vet would know that. So.
Okay.
Can you speak to the cat issue at all?
But if I use...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just wondering if you can speak about cats at all, because I have had customers tell me I won't diffuse oils in my house because of my cats.
Yeah, it's a total wives' tale. It's just not true. So you can get that information from the Dr. Janet Rourke on Facebook. She has a whole bunch of videos, addresses that cat issue, but essential oils are safe for cats to diffuse. Absolutely safe. You just have to have a way of escape for them. You don't want to lock them in a closed room where they can't walk away from it. But she put out, again, Dr. Janet Rourke on Facebook. If you scroll through her thing, there's a ton of videos she addressed this with, and she's a vet, so you have some clout there, and you can pass that video on to your client. She also owns several cats, and they're in the video with her while she's diffusing. So it's good. But the cats in general, you don't want to ever use melaleuca on a cat, which is T3. And citrus oils are no-go for cats. But diffusing is a totally different animal, so to speak. Diffusing citrus oils are safe for cats. You can't put them on topically. Yep, I know it's weird, but yeah, the vet talks about it and she describes why.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. It's just, I know we have so many customers who have pets and they're going to really benefit from this. And just having those resources to send them to is like really great too. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you soon. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All righty, you guys. So, what was that? Was that helpful? I learned.
That was great.
I'm like, okay. I mean, you kind of just treat them like a human, right? Like a human baby.
There's so many people who love their animals.
Oh, I know. And I'm thinking we can do classes for pets. Just advertise it that way. Like, you want natural solutions for your animals. And you're going to get a whole different crowd of people.
Definitely.
So, And you just have to be ready with the information for people who just are uneducated about really the safety of doTERRA oils on animals. Yeah, we need to have the right information, which now we have tons of resources for that. So, all right, so we're gonna go right into, let me stop